Hey all, today we're looking at the GSG 522. Let's get into it. Now if you like this content, like, sub, shares, all that good stuff, I really appreciate it. Also down below, coupon codes and merch to help support the channel. So the GSG 522. Basically in short, it is a 22 long rifle version of an H&K MP5. In fact, it was so much like an MP5 that apparently I guess H&K had an issue with it and they had to change some things. Starting out, this is kind of a range toy, so I'm not going to get super crazy into some of the specs. I'm just going to go over it and then give my thoughts. So this is starting with the barrel. Has a 16.3-inch barrel with a fake suppressor here on the end. And basically what that does is to make it legally a rifle in the States, it has to have at least a 16-inch barrel. So they did this fake suppressor tube on here, which makes it better than just having a weird barrel stick out. So it kind of helps the look of making it look, correct, we'll say. It has a fixed stock here, so not fold or anything, right, with a little rubber bat pad that is nice, but unneeded for 22, but it's nice having it on there. You have a spot here to attach a sling on the back. There's also a point here which you attach a sling. I don't really think there's actually anything on the front end of this unless it's missing off mine. I got this used, but so you could attach here and here if you wanted to, right? And I'm sure you could work something around here to make it work if you really wanted a sling, or maybe get aftermarket part. The rear sight here is pretty classic MP5, right? It rotates out and you have your different settings. They're not marked, but I pretty much just always keep it on this wide open with a little V notch there, right? And then you have this, which is a nice Picatinny rail. So you can attach a red dot or something if you want. It is removable. I just leave it on because it doesn't really affect the gun. And then up front, you've got a shrouded post with a little, it's meant to, I assume, meant to look like a little like night sight or something, but it's just like a little colored bead, which does help pick up the front sight. Your front sight is fixed, but your rear sight, it looks like you could undo this and adjust it for windage. And then of course you've got the different elevation right here. So that's your sight. Plenty good for plinking. Again, you can put a red dot on this if you really wanted to. So the operation of the gun. So you've got your ambidextrous fire and safed, right, which is nice. And this bottom part is polymer, but again, for a range toy, that doesn't really bother me. And then, again, like the MP5, you've got a little paddle release here, and then you can use the button if you want to. Something I noticed with the button. Now, I've shot a few MP5s, but I usually always use the paddle here, so I don't really notice this, but I did notice that even with large hands, because of how this is, and I guess because, this is a bit chunky with the plastic bit, it's a bit of a stretch to hit the button there like that. But, again, I would just use the paddle release. So, one of the cool things is, there we go, is this really operates like an MP5. Coming up here, they have this rubber sleeve that kind of wraps around this part of the gun. It's nice. Honestly, it doesn't do or take away anything for me, so, it's just there. And then you've got, of course, your charging handle, which is a nice big thing that you can grab in the various ways you would expect to be able to grab this style firearm. So say you've shot it and you've got a mag dry, right? You can do your traditional, pull the charging handle up and to the rear, pop out your mag, put your new mag in like so, and then slap it, or push down on the thing like you would a normal H&K, and the bolt goes home. So it really does operate a lot like a MP5, which kind of adds to, at the end of the day, this is a range toy. That's why I'm not going super crazy into the specs, because at the end of the day, this is a range toy. The trigger is pretty good, nothing amazing, but definitely good enough for plinking at the range. And, the fact that it really does operate a lot like an MP5, at least in feel, I'm not going to get into, the roller delay, blowback, and all that stuff, if it's actually internally like an MP5. But on the surface, if you hand it to someone, it's gonna feel like an MP5. Accuracy-wise, I've had no issues with this. Again, I wouldn't take this hunting where you need pinpoint accuracy, but as far as plinking at the range, shooting some steel or some cans or some targets or whatever you might be shooting at, even bowling pins, this is going to do plenty good without any issues. Reliability on this has been pretty decent. Now, every 22 I've owned jams, and this one is no different, but it's not jammed that much, especially running some of the higher velocity ammo. Not even necessarily the expensive stuff, just the more high velocity stuff. Bulk pack, it's run just fine. You know, a hiccup here and there. Every single 22 I have, and at this point, between my wife and I think we probably have like 20, has had issues at one point or another. You know, normal stuff. This has been no different, but I will say it has not annoyed me with its general reliability because it's been very good. So overall, I think this thing is a lot of fun. If you're looking for a range toy, if you want to be able to shoot an MP5 and have fun with something that's like an MP5 but not pay for 9mm or H&K pricing, I'd say check one of these out. They're pretty neat and it's a lot of fun. But put down below, is this something you have, something you're looking at? What do you think of it? And have a good day.